This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Good evening and welcome to the first of its kind show on primetime television, The Voice of Chennai. What matters to you most today, at this very minute? Definitely not the mundane issues politicians in the country are raking up. Just a day to go for the deadline to file your income tax returns, and you must be in a rush to file that Form 16. Precisely why we at NDTV Hindu have decided to make things a little easier for you. On The Voice of Chennai tonight, our focus is on the taxing procedure of filing those income tax returns. I'm Sanjay Pinto, and with me in the studio is the Additional Commissioner of Income Tax, Dr. Selva Ganesh. So if you're complaining to your wife or your neighbors about how long that queue was at the income tax office, or how long you will have to take off from office tomorrow to file those returns, you could do that straight to Mr. P. Selva Ganesh, the Additional Commissioner of Income Tax. He'll take your complaints or suggestions. You can also call me on the numbers that are being flashed on your television screen right now. But before we start taking your calls, let's quickly look at what's making news in Chennai in just 60 seconds.
The Supreme Court today acquitted educationist S.A. Raja and a former DMK minister Aladi Aruna's murder case. S.A. Raja, who was sentenced to undergo double life sentence and who is in jail presently, will now be set free. Accused child molester Emil Bright, who allegedly molested a schoolgirl, has now got bail. A court in Dindigul granted him bail in a case where a class 9 student of Kodaikanal Public School accused him of molesting her. AIADMK General Secretary Jayalalitha has decided to advance the date of her Tiruchi rally from the 24th of August to the 14th. The reason? She doesn't want it to clash with Avaniya Vittam and does not want to hurt religious sentiments. And in a shocking incident in Sivagangai, 2 children were crushed to death in a school when the bathroom wall collapsed on them. One of them was in class 6, while the other in class 7.
And there's a lot making news nationally as well. So here's a quick look at the stories making news across the country.
The CBI has said the Shorabuddin fake encounter case should be moved out of Gujarat to ensure a fair trial. It also said it will need 3 months to complete the investigations. Mother of British teenager Scarlett killings back in Goa to depose before investigators probing the death of the girl on a beach. The woman Fiona has accused the Goan police of a massive cover-up in the murder. The issue over rising prices rocked Parliament today for the 4th day. A united opposition has demanded a discussion. Both houses have been adjourned till Monday. Union Home Minister P. Chidambaram has said it will take 3 years to defeat the insurgency by Naxalite guerrillas. The minister is facing sharp criticism over a string of attacks by the rebels on paramilitary forces. Kolkata model Dimpy Ganguly has walked out of her 4-month-old marriage to Rahul Mahajan over domestic violence. They married on a reality show in March this year. She alleged that Rahul punched, kicked and dragged her by the hair.
All right, with just less than 24 hours to go for the deadline to file your income tax returns for all employees all over, there are a few who are feeling extremely taxed. No, not the ones paying, but the ones who are helping collect your Form 16. And we are talking about the staff at the income tax office. For instance, in the Nungambakam income tax office, it seems that the number of persons filing it on the last day could even go beyond 2 lakh. Peer Mohammed has a special report.
You can see that officials are overworking to ensure that there are no complaints. But there are complaints, not necessarily on filing, but on lack of information, delay in refunds. The scene at the IT office could be quite intimidating for ordinary people who want to file the returns on their own.
More than 400 tax assistance vacancies are lying here. In spite of 30% vacancies in lower cadres, more than 30%, and more than 60% in higher cadre in our department. Still we are interested to this type of special counters and all.
It's a fact that there are large vacancies in almost all cadres, but to meet these special exigencies, we are doing extra work, and all of us officers as well as our staff, they are working even on holidays, they are working extended hours.
The lack of display boards in Tamil seems to be a big issue.
சாதாரண அளவில் உள்ளவங்க கூட ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. இப்போ அவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து தமிழில் எந்த இடத்துலையும் ஒரு அறிவிப்பு இருந்துச்சுன்னா எந்த இடத்துக்கு போகிறதுங்கிறது சொல்கிறதுக்கு நல்லாயிருக்கும். தமிழ்நாட்டில் அந்தந்த ஸ்டேட்டுக்கு அந்தந்த ஸ்டேட் மொழியினுடையது முக்கியத்துவம் தரணும்.
The special counters for various sections of people has really helped ease the process of filing.
Last 4 days of filing IT returns account for nearly 50% of the total filings. It is quite a tough task for the 1,000-odd employees at the IT office here in Chennai, Peer Mohammed, NDTV Hindu.
All right, that's what we call the tax effect. But to take all those questions from our viewers, we've got Mr. Selva Ganesh, the Additional Commissioner of Income Tax. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. You don't look like you've had a sleepless night. You're not showing in your eyes at least. But a quick question before we line up all our callers. How long, let's say someone has to file his or her returns on the last day, that's tomorrow. For how long will your counter open? Will it be, because it's a Saturday, so is it going to be a half a day or will you stretch?
Saturday is a close holiday for the central government, but as per our board's directive, we have kept it open and it will be a full working day.
All right.
Starting from 9:45 to 5:45, we will have all our offices, and we will not close at 5:45 sharp. If we find there is a crowd, so the last man that we identify around 5:45 or 6, we'll ensure that the last person in our campus gets to file the return.
All right, I just got an email question from Vivek, who's calling in from Arepuram. Vivek says, if I go into the income tax office at 10 o'clock because I have to work tomorrow, should I actually take the day off? Or if I go in at 10 o'clock, for what time can I file my return?
If he goes in at 10 o'clock, let me assure you, Mr. Vivek, it will take you hardly 5 minutes.
Really?
Yep.
Just a little more than cooking Maggi noodles, is it?
Yep. 2 minutes is the time that I would rather give him. It's 10 o'clock.
But then for that, does he have to, like, you know, for normally for school admissions and all, you wait the previous night and all, no? Even for railways?
No, you don't have to do that.
You don't have to go and catch a place in the...
Our experience is that the crowd surges sometime in the afternoon.
So try and finish it off in the morning.
9:45, he walks in, he will most likely find that the counter is free. He can walk in, file his return. My only suggestion is, if he's got his PAN card, he can take the PAN card so that our officers do not have to, he doesn't have to waste time verifying his PAN. See, we need to verify his PAN being authentic and correct before we accept the return.
All right, we've got callers, Mr. Selva Ganesh. Mr. Murthy is joining us on the phone line from Mylapore. Mr. Murthy, thank you for calling in on the Voice of Chennai. What is your question to the Additional Commissioner of Income Tax?
Sir, for the past 1 year, I've been working only for 6 months. The previous 6 months, I wasn't working.
Yep.
So, should I file my IT returns?
Ma'am, it depends upon what your income is. What is your income? Does it exceed 1,90,000?
Yes.
Then you have to. If you are a salaried employee, and whether you work 1 month or 12 months, but if your income exceeds 1,90,000, then you have to file your return. Have you been given furnished a Form 16 by your employer?
Yes, they have given us.
Then just bring it over. We have adequate staff there who would guide you in filing of that.
In 5 minutes, they can do that.
Definitely.
Have cold coffee in that building next door and then file your returns.
We do have cold coffee inside our building.
You supply cold coffee to
We have a food court. I mean, you can try out the cuisine of Saravana Bhavan. We had pizza.
Anything to collect as much tax as possible.
Yep. That's our job.
All right, we've got Karpagam now who's calling in from Adyar. Yes, Karpagam, please go ahead.
Sir, I have heard that it takes around 5 to 6 years for refunds to get credited. Is that true? And I'm slightly concerned about that.
Can I have the question again, please?
It takes about 5 to 6 years, it seems, to get a refund.
No, it's not true.
So this is actually a lot of SMS is also coming in about refunds. They say that the income tax department is very strict. That's why there's a rush on the last date. But when it comes to getting our own money back refunds, then they sit pretty.
No, as a matter of fact, I have a very interesting refund. The SMS that I received just before I did my homework is that right now, as per our records, we have less than 2,000 odd grievances, which means that people who complain to us saying that the refunds have not come. And it definitely is not 5 to 6 years. Ever since computerization came into the department.
Is this a freak case then?
There are cases where it is likely that we do have cases which are...
Is Karpagam still on the line with us?
She's not there apparently.
All right. Maybe if you can, if Karpagam can meet you if Karpagam is still listening, do you want to give her an appointment on the show itself tomorrow? Can she meet you? Where can she meet you, sir?
At my office, I am
which floor?
First floor of the income tax main
Ayakar
building.
Bhavan in
Ayakar
Nungambakam. All right, first floor, Mr. Selva Ganesh of the income tax thing in Ayakar Bhavan in Nungambakam High Road. You can go there, and Karpagam can come to you with this grievance. So this 5 years will be in 5 days. You'll get it, or 5 minutes?
No, not 5 minutes, of course, but
5 days.
maybe in a week's time we'll be able to settle it.
Okay.
If there are no complications. See, the complications that happen, why a person does not get his refund or her refund, is because the PAN number is not properly mentioned, which means that we are not able to give tax credit to the person. Or there are cases where a deductor, an employer, deducts tax but has not remitted it.
All right.
These are cases where we will not be able to issue refund.
So this must be one of those cases?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
There may be a mistake. It's for her to bring the acknowledgement form, and I am the officer in charge of redressing grievances, so she can make the application to us, and we have a grievance redressal cell which will take it and process it and issue her.
Okay.
As I said, every month we settle about 200 to 300 grievances.
All right.
On an average, our pendency around 2,000. The grievances that we get, it keeps rolling.
Okay, so you will settle Karpagam's problem tomorrow.
And anybody else also.
All right. Anybody else, welcome to call also with your grievances. Senthil Kumar joins us on the phone line from Ananagar. Yes, Senthil Kumar, what is the... what's your question?
Sanjay, this is Senthil. Yeah.
Yes, Senthil.
Yeah, I just wanted to know two things actually. One is, are we going to apply... Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Now, are we going to apply, is the government going to apply a different, public services from different parts of the city? One. And initially, early days, we used to have extension of the last day of the filing of the returns. This is not happening nowadays recently. Why is it so?
All right. Will
extension, this is a statutory liability, which this date is fixed by the statute. I don't think in the near memory we've had any extension of the last date of filing.
Unless you have some natural disaster.
Yes,
God
in
forbid.
Bihar
Okay.
and in Kashmir and in Gujarat, when there was earthquake and floods, the board had notified that for these areas we shall extend the date of filing of return. But otherwise, I don't think in Tamil Nadu, not in the last 15 odd years, we've had any change or extension of date.
All right, we've got Gomati Ishwar, who's actually calling in from Bangalore, because of course NDTV Hindu is also seen across the country. Yes, Gomati Ishwar, what's your question?
Yeah, actually, I filed returns through my office. So they have an authorized agent called Tax Spanner. So I gave him the Form 16 and other ITR details to them.
Yep.
But I had to receive acknowledgement from them. So I was more concerned whether it's filed or not. I sent multiple queries. I have not received anything. So actually, I am in Chennai right now for a family emergency, but I'm going only on Monday. So is it okay if it's not filed, can I go and file it on Monday?
Now, the only issue is, there are, do you have any tax to pay? Do you have any tax that you ought to have paid, or is this a case of your tax entirely being deducted by your employer?
Yeah, entirely deducted from the employer. There is nothing.
In which case, it does not matter if it is belated by a couple of days or even a few days more. If there is tax payable, then you automatically attract a penalty or an interest, penal interest under Section 234A. But in your case, if all your taxes are prepaid, you do not have to bother. A day's delay or so will not matter at all.
All right. We've got Sundaram now, I think, who is calling in. Yeah, we've got another caller from Madipakam. Yes,
hello,
go ahead, sir.
Hello, sir. I am Sundaram.
Yeah,
yes, go ahead.
Sir, yesterday I filed the IT, sir.
Yeah.
For me, I had to get some 3,250 rupees as a refund.
Okay.
How long I will get it, sir?
If this is for the current year, you are talking about the current year refund?
Yes, sir. Current year refund.
In all likelihood, this year it should be 4 to 6 months, not more than that.
6 months, sir?
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
Yeah.
All right. Usha is calling again from Mailappa. Usha, yes.
Hello. Good evening, Sanjay.
Good evening, Usha.
அதாவது நான் தமிழ்ல கேக்குறேன்.
கேளுங்க.
அதாவது இப்ப இன்கம் டாக்ஸ், இப்ப டெலிபோன் பில்ஸ், இபி பில்ஸ், அப்புறம் ப்ராப்பர்ட்டி டாக்ஸ் எல்லாமே ஆன்லைன்ல பே பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டோம்.
ஆமா.
அதே மாதிரி இன்கம் டாக்ஸ் ஆன்லைன்ல பே பண்றதுக்கு ஏதாவது வாய்ப்பு இருக்கா?
In fact, I've got some more SMSs here. Yeah. People talking about a digital signature required. That's what the site says. You need a digital signature.
No, let me clarify that.
Yeah.
First issue is, madam, even before, இவங்கெல்லாம் வாட்டர் டாக்ஸ் எல்லாம் எலக்ட்ரானிக் இதில் பண்ணுறதுக்கு முந்தையே நாங்கள் ஃபைலிங்கும் கொண்டு வந்துட்டோம், நீங்கள் எலக்ட்ரானிக்கலாக ஃபைல் பண்ணவும் பண்ணலாம், உங்கள் டேக்ஸையும் பேங்க்குக்கு எலக்ட்ரானிக் ட்ரான்ஸ்ஃபரில் நீங்கள் பண்ணலாம், அதுக்கு எந்த ரெஸ்ட்ரிக்ஷனும் கிடையாது. E-filing பற்றி சொல்லும்போது we just asking about digital signature. Digital signature is not mandatory. Digital signature is mandatory for a corporate body and for certain categories of firms. When an individual files, he has to print out an ITR verification form. You see, the problem is anybody who knows your PAN number and your name can probably file electronically. And that's why, in order to authenticate that electronic filing, we expect you to print out an acknowledged form and send it to the CPC.
What is CPC?
Central Processing Center. We have a central processing center at Bangalore, and another one is opening up in the northern part of the country. When you send it, all electronically filed returns are processed there.
Okay.
So they will only, this e-filed return will be in our system, but it cannot be processed unless and until the ITR reaches us.
All right.
Only then we know that it's an
But why is that not many people are aware,
No.
Mr. Ganesh, that, you know, as you rightly said just now, it was prevalent even before these other agencies that that Usha mentioned. But again, we are told that the site is not very user friendly. In fact, the site has been giving problems. Is that true? The e-filing site?
Could be, but then let's take it up and see. We'll definitely do everything to improve.
All right. Kumar is calling in all the way from Karur. Yes, Kumar.
Sir, I belong to Karur district.
Yes,
Hello.
please. Yes, please go ahead.
Last year I had filed my return here.
Yes.
But this year they directed me to go to Trichy to file my income tax return.
It may be because you have an income more than 5 lakhs? Last
No,
year?
sir,
No?
around 2.2.
2.2 lakhs, okay.
I don't see why they ought to have said this, because any person, there are only officers of the rank of income tax officers at Karur. Beyond the income limit, it goes to
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tiruchi. Okay, again, Karur, the ITO must have a limit of 2 lakhs. That is why you've been asked to go to Trichy. We will try and see if we can increase the jurisdiction limit of the Karur income tax officers to
That's useful
5
feedback
lakhs.
for you on the show. All right, we've also got Sabesan now, who's calling in from Velachery. Yes, Sabesan.
Good evening, sir. I am working in the Navy, and
Good
I've been
evening.
filing my returns to the IT ward in Bombay.
Yep.
But it's been 5 years since I have got my refund.
Yep.
And as the assistant director had mentioned,
Yep.
I don't have any problems in the PAN number or with the Form 16 because the tax has been deducted from my pay.
Yep.
And there is some refund which I was due, but it's been 5 years. And the problem that I'm facing is the acknowledgement number that I get
Yep.
is a manually stamped one,
Yep.
and it doesn't get reflected in the internet from where I can check. So I just wanted to know what is the
See,
way
if
out
you
of this.
register using your PAN number and the acknowledged number, the status of your refund can be verified. Again, go back to our website. These facilities are available. I don't see a situation where a refund is pending for 5 years. What could have happened? Because you've been shifting residences probably. Your whatever has been sent to you may have been returned back to the department. I would request you to address a letter to the grievance cell at Bombay, and I'm sure they'll help you. In case you need our help through Chennai, we'll take it up and do it for you.
Okay, so probably, do you want to give your email ID to him?
We have a grievance cell email ID. I think grievance cell at Yahoo. I'll get that for you.
All right, we'll pass on Sabesan's number to you, and maybe your office can get in touch with him. All right, we've got another caller from Koratur. Hi, who's this?
Hello.
Jagannathan, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
I have been filing my returns for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, it certainly helps a lot
Yep.
for me, like, working people. And I have not received my returns, that refund for the year 2008 and 9, sir.
But you must have received probably the refund for the next year?
7 and 8 I have received. 8 and 9, no. Till now I have not received.
How is that
No, no.
possible?
This is why. This is the year in which we are migrating, and therefore there are certain glitches which have been resolved, which is why we have also introduced a tax credit statement. The mismatch between the NSDL data that we have been made available to our processing officers and the actual claim made in the return. An individual who has made a claim of, let's say, 1 lakh finds that the credit in his account is only 80,000. which means when he's expecting a refund of say 10,000 or so, instead he gets a demand notice for 10,000 rupees. This particular issue has been sorted out, and let me repeat again here that our Chief Commissioner in Chennai has decided to hold a refund fortnight starting this 16th August to 31st August. 16th August to 31st August, we'll have a refund fortnight when refunds up to 8-9, precisely to address this problem. You walk in with your acknowledgement as well as TDS original certificate. If there's any problem, we'll be able to issue it, process the return across the counter, and ensure that the refund is issued. Refund today in Chennai is issued through a refund banker, which means you either have to have a ECS, electronic clearing, or through a refund banker check. SBI will send you a check.
All right. Radhakrishnan now joins us on the phone line from Royapeta. Yes, Radhakrishnan, good evening.
Yes, can I talk to you now?
Please, by all means. Yes, Mr. Radhakrishnan, we are waiting to hear you.
Yes, my name is Radhakrishnan.
Yes, Mr. Radhakrishnan, please.
My name is Radhakrishnan.
Yes, red carpet rolled out for you. Ask him the question, please.
Yes, my question is that, see, I'm a senior citizen.
Yep.
And, my income is, yes, I can. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. My name is Radhakrishnan. I'm a senior citizen.
Yep.
My income is 2,40,000. It cannot go beyond 2,40,000.
Fine.
And I still work as a consultant, including that income only. It's about 2.4 lakhs. But then, as a consultant, they deduct tax deducted at source.
Yep.
And for me to get the refund of the tax deducted at source, it takes 6 months or 8 months or 9 months.
Yep.
And a lot of follow-up will have to be done. Is there any way by which senior citizens are not put to grief? Is there any method by which you can submit any form where if you exceed 2.6 lakhs, then you pay the tax?
The issue is, if you do not want to run behind a refund, you can approach your assessing officer and request him to issue a nil deduction certificate. We have issued several hundreds, if not thousands, of nil deduction certificates, which means that to whoever you receive a payment from, all you need to show him is the certificate, which will ensure that there is no tax deducted at source for you, which will save you the trouble of having to file a return and claim your refund. On the other hand, sir, the department has been endeavoring to compress the time between the filing of return and the issue of the refund. Unfortunately, it's hovering around 6 months to 8 months now, but I'm sure with the kind of e-governance that's come in and computerization, this year probably we are looking at a period of around 4 months. We are hoping to improve on our earlier length of time.
Okay, Swaminathan is calling in from Saligramam. Swaminathan, go ahead, please. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir. Good evening. Sir, I'm asking this question for my brother.
Yes.
My brother is earning from 2007. So
Yep.
there are 3 accounting, 2007, 2008, 2008, 2009 and 2009, 2010. For example, if he's going to get the refund for the first year, second year, third year, total 15,000, 555.
Yeah.
And today when he went to the income tax office, they said it seems only you can get for 2 years.
See, unfortunately, there is an issue that he can file valid returns only for 2 years because he's missed out on the earlier years. It does not matter now.
Okay.
You do file your return, and then there is a provision under Rule 1192 of the income tax where you request the commissioner. If it is 5,000, I think the limit is with the commissioner. The jurisdictional commissioner has the right to waive the delay. You will have to ask him, but then again, it is subject to certain conditions. If you fulfill those conditions, you will get the refund. Otherwise, unfortunately, you forfeited the right to your refund because you have not filed your return in time, which is why we encourage and request all people to file the returns well in time to avoid such a loss.
All right, there's an SMS also coming in from Kausalya who says, is it mandatory for us to also enclose the original Form 16 or photocopies of any documents with the returns?
No, we have moved. Ever since we have encouraged e-filing, we moved to a system.
If it's not e-filing, if it's submission
any
of
filing,
hard
paper
copies,
filing,
okay.
no hard copies needed. The form is complete in itself. You don't have to enclose anything. In case there is a mismatch, only then.
So just keep that Form 16 of the documents carefully till...
you preserve the originals.
How long should they preserve it?
See, I would request anybody who's a salaried employee to preserve these as a permanent record. The department has the legal right to ask for this for 6 years.
For 6 years?
For 6 years.
Okay.
But then your bank account details as well as your Form 16s, because these are all financial records, would be of immense help to you at any point of time in your life.
Well, okay, but legally 6 years is what they need to maintain.
Department can ask you to produce your records for 6 years.
All right. All right, time to slide into a very short break, but we'll come back and take a few more calls on your income tax queries. The man in the hot seat himself right here. This is your hotline to the hot seat. Stay tuned.